Welcome to Action Research Lesson 11. So in this lesson, we are going to focus on how to write a good study background for your action research. So what is the background of a study? So the background section of a research paper explains to the reader where your research journey started, why you got interested in the topic, and how you developed the research question that you will later specify. That means that you first establish the context of your research. You did with a general overview of the field topic, and then you present the key issues that drove your decision to study the specific problem you chose. The background of a study is one of the most important components of a research paper. So the quality of the background determines whether the reader will be interested in the rest of your study. Thus, to ensure that the audience is still invested in reading your entire paper, it is important to write an appealing and effective background. So the background of a study is the first section of the paper and establishes the context underlying the research. It contains the rationale, the key problem statement, and the brief overview of research questions that are addressed in the rest of the paper. So the background forms the crux of the study because it introduces an aware audience to the research and its importance in a clear and logical manner. At times, the background may even explore whether the study builds on or refuses findings from previous studies. So any relevant information that the readers need to know before delving into the paper should be made available to them in the background of the research. So the difference between the background and the introduction of a study, they are highlighted down here. So the introduction of your research paper is presented before the background. And then let's find out what factors differentiate the background from the introduction. So number one, the introduction only contains preliminary data about the research topic and does not state the purpose of the study. On the contrary, the background clarifies the importance of the study in detail. Then the second thing you would like to know is the introduction provides an overview of the research topic from a broader perspective, while the background provides a detailed understanding of the topic. Then the third one, the introduction should end with the mention of the research question and objectives of the study, while in contrast, the background follows no structure and only provides essential context to the study. So what to remember before writing the background? Make sure your background is a logical structure and naturally leads into the statement of the problem at the very end of the introduction, so that you bring everything together for the reader to judge the relevance of your work and the validity of your approach before they dig deeper into the details of your study in the methodology. Elements of a study background. So the following elements should also be included in your background and are presented in greater details, right? So number one, start by giving a general overview of your topic and why it's important. Number two, bring the current state of the research on the topic. Number three, bring controversies about the current knowledge of that topic. Number four, write any claims or assumptions that have been made by previous researchers or institutions or politicians that may need to be clarified. Number five, write the methods and techniques used in the study and from which your study will differ in some way. So that's how to introduce your study background. So in other words, what are you supposed to do when writing a background of the study? So number one, in simpler way, it's start with a strong beginning. Begin with the background by defining the research topic. For example, you say time management is defined as so. You start by defining time management if you are doing a study about students' time management, and then identify the target audience. Right? So after that, you cover the key components. So you talk about the time management now, components. For example, you talk about the theories which talk about time management, the concepts, the terms related to it, and the ideas about time management that may feel unfamiliar to the target audience thoroughly. Take note of important prerequisites, like go through the relevant literature in detail. Take notes while reading and cite the sources also. Maintain a balance. Make sure that the background is focused on important details, but also appealing to a broader audience. Include historical data. Current issues largely originate from historical events or findings. So you can say time management has been an issue since the since the 1800 when it was first identified by so until early 2000s when they decided to change the definition. So you bring the historical content of that topic. And if research borrows information from historical context and add relevant data in the background, explain the novelty or the newness of your study. So if the research study or methodology is unique, provide an explanation that helps to understand the research better. Increase engagement. To make the background engaging, build a story around the theme of the research. Okay, so how to keep your background engaging to the reader? As the background includes a lot of information, it can become a long one, causing the reader to lose interest. So to ensure that your background is engaging, you should try to build a story around the central theme of your research. Ensure that the story adheres to the core idea and does not digress into a broad literature review. Each idea should lead to the next uh, so that the readers are able to grasp what you are saying and themselves identify the gaps that your study is going to address. So avoid these mistakes when writing your background. Number one, ambiguity. Don't be ambiguous. While writing, assume that the reader does not understand your details of your research. Then unrelated themes. Steer clear from topics that are not related to the key aspects of your research. Poor organization. Do not place information without a structure. Make sure that your background reads in chronological manner and organize the subsections so that it flows well. Don't write a background that is too long or too short. Like I said, don't be ambiguous. And then don't discuss unrelated themes. Don't be disorganized. That's the summary of things you must avoid. So this is an example of a structure of writing a background. So you can do these steps also. Step 1 to 8. Step 1, you write what the world say about the study area. Step 2, what the region says about the study area. The region now is like Africa, the continent. Step 3, the national view, Kenya, what they say about your topic. Step 4, the local view. Now you say Bomani or Ojunju Mtomku area, what they say about the study area. Step 5, first research intuition. Now you write your information there. Step 6, background information and definitions of the dependent variable. So you have to know in your research what are the dependent variables, what are the independent variables. So you should define them in step 6 and 7. Then the last step now, you write your thinking there. So if you want to understand how to write a background of the study, check this extra document which I sent. Dr. Lango's example of writing a background to a study. So it's there in the folder for lesson 7. You check it and you read it slowly so that you understand. Then after that, you check also these references and also you check your assignment. You do your assignment slow until you get the idea. Then we mark. So thanks for listening to this lesson. We meet later for the next one.